Prepare for maximum impact. See mega chainsaws, beastly chippers, and industrial harvesters dominate. Witness unbelievable jaw-dropping machine force exclusively on Techbeast TV. Strap in for a high-octane spectacle, your ultimate adventure with giant machines. All right, buckle up, tree huggers and timber tycoons. The Bandit 1990 XP isn't just shredding logs, it's sparking a full-on cage match between granola crunchers and profit chasers, turning 24-inch redwoods into sawdust faster than you can say pumpkin spice latte. This 275 horsepower monster with a 41-inch in-feed throat wide enough to gulp down a backyard BBQ table runs on a John Deere PowerTech 9-liter engine, churning out a mind-boggling 400 cubic yards of chips per hour. But hold your flannel, its Tier 4 final engine cuts emissions by 18%. Yet green activists cry foul, claiming its 28-foot per minute feed rate could turn a national park into a toothpick factory before you finish your Starbucks. The hydraulic winch, dragging 2-ton logs like they're Black Friday shopping bags, has old-school loggers grumbling about lumberjack cheat codes. Operators, though, are obsessed with Sally mode, which devours 45-foot pines quicker than a TikTok trend. The 64-inch fold-out hopper, a soil-saving hero to some, but a villain for enabling over-harvesting in sacred groves. The Timberwolf Alpha 6 log splitter is a 58,905-pound force beast that's got lumberjacks and gearheads duking it out like it's a tailgate brawl at a college football game. This 22-horsepower, orange-clad monster chomps through 500-pound hardwood logs with a 5-inch hydraulic ram, spitting out splits faster than a TikTok dance goes viral. Old-school axe wielders cry overkill, while efficiency nerds bow to its box wedge system, cranking out 2 cords an hour, enough to keep a small-town toasty through a polar vortex. But here's the kicker. Its 80-gallon weekly diesel habit has tree huggers clutching their reusable straws, while its spa-like cabin, think heated leather seats and a 10-inch touchscreen, has purists scoffing, logging's gone full Silicon Valley. Until, that is, they see the auto-retract arm and hydraulic lift turn gnarly oaks into perfect splits in 7 seconds flat. The 40-inch sorting grate and 3-way adjustable wedge, they churn out firewood with assembly line precision, which critics say strips the soul from hand-cut cordwood. Yet whisper the legend of an Alpha 6 in Alaska's Tongass, churning 18,000 tons in minus 40-degree winters without a hiccup. The John Deere 1270G, a 9,500-pound 8-wheeled beast paired with the H415 harvester head, is tearing through forests and sparking debates hotter than a tailgate bonfire. This 268-horsepower juggernaut conquers slopes that'd make a mountain goat sweat, with intelligent boom control turning log piles into a Broadway dance number. But green warriors clutch their kombucha at its 13-liter-per-hour diesel thirst and DEF fluid addiction. The H415 head, a 29.5-inch log-shredding beast that carves hardwoods like a chef slicing brisket. Though critics blast its 4-ton grip for plundering protected forests faster than you can say recyclable straw. Here's the real sizzle. Its Tier 4 PowerTech Plus engine slashes emissions by 22%, but detractors cry that its 2,500-foot daily clear-cut range is fragmenting habitats like a bad breakup. Operators geek out over the cabin's 160-degree spin and Xbox-style joysticks, while OSHA buzzkills flag its 92-decibel roar as a safety hazard louder than a rock concert. Foresters high-five the Timbermatic H16 for GPS-perfect cuts, but city planners warn its 38-foot boom could turn urban tree canopies into mulch. Climate hero or timber-chomping Terminator. The 1270G isn't just harvesting logs, it's stirring up enough drama to fill a Reddit thread. The Valtra A-Series 124 is crashing through the forest like a linebacker at a tailgate party, and it's got everyone from tree huggers to lumberjacks picking sides. This 180 horsepower beast, pumping out 700 Newton meters of torque, doesn't just chew through underbrush. It sends it to the wood chipper faster than you can say flannel sail at Cabela's. Stretching 14 feet and tipping the scales at over 6.5 tons, this bad boy laughs at rocky slopes and swampy bogs. With its active frame suspension, so smooth, you'd think you're sipping a latte in a Starbucks. Not taming the wild, but here's where the campfire gets smoky. Green activists are losing their kale smoothies over its emissions, claiming it belches more carbon than a small-town BBQ festival. Meanwhile, forestry pros are singing its praises, saying it's so efficient, finishing jobs twice as fast as rivals, that it's actually kinder to ecosystems in the long run. The twin-track reverse drive system? Pure genius, letting you zip backward as fast as forward. Though old-timers grumble, it's like putting a spoiler on a pickup truck. Eco-demon or logging legend. With optional AI terrain scanning and a price tag flirting with $500,000, the A-Series 124 isn't just sparking debates, it's tossing gasoline on them. So what's your take? Is this beast the future of forestry or a diesel-guzzling dinosaur? Drop your thoughts below and let's keep this chainsaw buzzing. Ladies and gents, feast your eyes on the Komatsu W600 loader, the Hulk Hogan of the logging world, making giant redwoods look like kindling at a backyard BBQ. This 449 horsepower colossus, stretching 33 feet long and towering 13 feet high, doesn't just lift 18-ton logs, it yeets them like they're pool noodles. With an 11 cubic yard bucket and a hydraulic system smoother than a jazz playlist, it's a beast built for the big leagues. But here's the hot gossip. Its eco mode claims a 15% fuel sip. Pretty green for a Titan, right? Not so fast, say eco-warriors, who give its deforestation rap sheet the stink eye. Operators, meanwhile, are living their best life in a climate-controlled cabin with AI controls so slick, it's like driving a Tesla through a forest. The real MVP, smart load tech, auto-tweaking torque to grip muddy slopes like a pro, leaving Caterpillar's 990 series in the dust. Old-school loggers call it overkill. Tech bros call it a revolution. Either way, the WA600 isn't just hauling timber, it's hauling drama, stirring up more shade than a reality TV reunion. So is it a logging legend or a tree-trashing villain? Meet the Caterpillar 527 skidder, a 90s-born beast that's still stomping through forests like a T-Rex at a tailgate party, sparking debates hotter than a jalapeno popper. This 7-liter diesel monster pumps out 166 horsepower, hauling 22,000 kilogram loads through mud bogs that'd make lesser rigs cry for mama. But here's the drama. Tree huggers clutch their oat lattes, raging over its Tier 2 304 engines, smoggy vibes, while grizzled loggers worship its 31,389 kilogram winch pull, sneering at eco-skidders like they're glorified golf carts. With a triple-speed transmission, this 47,000-pound Titan charges uphill at 11.5 kilometers per hour, slower than a caffeinated squirrel, but with enough swagger to scare a grizzly. Oregon's DNS logging crew swears these relics outlast fancy GPS-guided newbies, clocking 6,500 hours without a check engine light. Still, tech snobs roll their eyes at its dumb iron hydraulics, calling it the flip phone of forestry. The 7-meter blade, a trail carving hero to some, a soil compacting villain to others. Its extended track frame spreads weight over 10 square meters, but activists still cry, habitat carnage. The Kenworth 850 logging truck is a 32-foot-long, orange-clad juggernaut That's part Detroit Diesel Series 6014-liter Beast, part Pacific P16 Throwback, and all attitude, stirring up more drama than a reality show in the British Columbia backwoods. With a 515 horsepower engine chugging 85 gallons of diesel a day, this bad boy unleashes 1,650 foot-pounds of torque to muscle 91,000-pound timber hauls through mudslides that would make a monster truck whimper. Green activists lose their artisanal coffee over its carbon footprint, but logging crews salute its torque-assisted steering, which tames 45-degree slopes like a cowboy roping a bronco. Old-school loggers scoff at the penthouse cabin, heated leather seats, 10-inch touchscreen, really, calling it a betrayal of flannel and sweat roots, until they see the DDAC6 brain tracking driver moves like a nosy algorithm, while the Allison CLBT 5960 transmission shifts smoother than a Nashville ballad. The real bar fight? A BC legend says 1850, juiced by a hybrid Detroit 60 Caterpillar 340. 8 power plant hauled 2 million board feet through coastal jungles. An unholy mashup that's blasphemy to purists, but proof this rig rewrites the rules. The Pro 54 Harvester, a 9,400-pound Scandinavian beast that's got the Cle 25 RH2 crane swinging through Sweden's pine forest like a lumberjack Spider-Man, igniting debates hotter than a tailgate chili cook-off. This 200-horsepower Titan glides through tree cathedrals with a 90-degree articulating boom, snatching logs like it's picking apples at a fall festival. But here's the rub. Green warriors cry over shredded carbon sinks and its 9-liter-per-hour diesel chug, even though its ISO 4 certified Tier 4 final engine struts eco-friendly cred like a hipster sipping oat milk latte. The real drama, its 25-meter crane and AI-powered selective cut tech, praised for dodging saplings but slammed for surgical strikes on old-growth reserves. Operators kick back in the ErgoFlow cabin, heated seats, 68-decibel whisper quiet, living like logging royalty, while OSHA flags wrist aches from 15-hour marathons. Foresters high-five its Duragrip tires for owning bogs that'd eat lesser rigs, but botanists weep for squash ferns under 2-meter-wide tracks. With a 7-second felled-to-limb cycle and 95% timber yield, Volvo's 145, rocking the Flex 14 undercarriage, is crashing the forestry party like a monster truck at a yoga retreat, splitting opinions faster than its 555C head splits oak. This 430-horsepower beast with hydraulics so precise it could delimb a pine while penning a country ballad, towers 16 feet tall and weighs 8 tons, yet glides over swamps and cliffs like it's on rollerblades, thanks to Flex 14's sci-fi traction tech that's gentler on the ground than a toddler in Nikes. Eco-hippies cheer its low-soil compaction, but grizzled loggers snort at its fancy-pants AI cut optimization, calling it a $500,000 therapist lumberjack that overthinks a good old chop. Purists roll their eyes at the auto-stable feature, which recalculates balance mid-cut like it's solving a Rubik's Cube, leaving operators twiddling thumbs. And don't get started on the biometric seat, adjusting to your heartbeat like a creepy personal trainer. Genius or gimmick? Whispers of the 555C head outpacing a wildfire in testing add fuel to the rumor mill, but Volvo's lips are tighter than a hipster's jeans. So is this Nordic Titan a tree-slaying game-changer, or a timber industry Tesla with too much swagger? Grab your flannel and weigh in. Let the X-Flame Wars begin. The Timberjack 810B forestry tractor is the grizzled, mud-crusted granddaddy of logging, kicking up more drama than a reality TV finale. Don't let its rusty 90s vibe fool you. This 28-ton beast, stretching 18 feet long and towering 8 feet high, roars with a 150 horsepower engine, bulldozing through swampy forests like it's tailgating at a NASCAR race. Its brute force blade shoves 2,000-pound logs uphill like they're feather pillows. But here's the campfire feud. While techie rivals flash AI wizardry, this analog monster's manual levers have old-school loggers crowning it the last real logger's rig. Even as eco-critics blast it as a diesel-chugging dinosaur, stalling the green revolution. Psst! John Deere, Timberjack's new overlord, still churns out parts, feeding a cult of flannel-wearing fanatics. Its ace card? The flex-frame undercarriage, aka the Spider, that twists over gnarly terrain like a stunt double. Environmentalists, though, are throwing shade, claiming these gas guzzlers sabotage sustainability. Operators just laugh. Try bogging this beast in a monsoon. It'll swing away. It'll have you kissing its steel claws. Hero or hazard? The 810B's raw, unfiltered grit and its clear-cutting baggage makes it the logging world's ultimate love-hate icon. Would you ride this iron T-Rex into the woods or send it to the scrapyard? Like if you're Team Timberjack, comment if it's time for extinction. The Highlander HL21, Komatsu 875, and EIS 175 aren't just machinery. They're a timber-shredding triad sparking debates from Oregon boardrooms to Finnish clear-cuts. The HL21 dominates 40-degree slopes with its 288 horsepower FPT engine and 272 kilonewton claw force, but critics blast its 25,500 kilogram frame as environmental vandalism, despite Conrad's claims of ground pressure gentler than a moose hoof. Enter the Komatsu 875. This 740 horsepower behemoth muscles 22-ton logs uphill at 11 kilometers hourly. Yet environmentalists decry its Tier 4 engine as dinosaur tech compared to the HL's stage-filled emissions. The real drama swirls around the EIS 175. This 9-meter-long forest ninja squeezes through spaces tighter than a woodpecker's nest but carries just 4.5 tons, prompting operators to rage about glorified wheelbarrow syndrome. Together, they're rewriting logging lore. The Highlander's 340-liter fuel tank powers 18-hour marathons, while its 360-degree rotating cab lets operators literally turn their backs on the Komatsu's diesel belches. Meet the NOE 1706R skidder, A 193 horsepower forest leviathan armed with dual 16-ton winches that environmentalists claim could drag entire redwood groves to the mill. This 28.9-foot frame, mounted on 36-inch tires, churns through Pacific Northwest mudslides like a diesel-powered centipede, its German-built hydraulic system generating 8,000 pound per square inch gripping force. Purists scoff at its Parisian spa cabin, featuring heated leather recro seats and 10-inch touchscreen controls, until witnessing its triple-pump log, grapple-annihilating 3-foot diameter Douglas firs in 11-second cycles. The real controversy, its dual identity. While Canadian crews praise the French-designed X-Master package's ability to lift 40,000-pound timber bundles, eco-warriors blast the irony of burning 85 gallons of diesel daily to power sustainable forestry. Scandals erupted when a Yukon operation reportedly clear-cut 700 acres in 2 weeks using 3 NOE units, though defenders cite a legendary British Columbia rig that salvaged an entire wildfire-threatened valley in 72 hours. With 32-inch ground clearance and a 22-ton payload capacity, this orange behemoth straddles the line between ecological villain and wildfire prevention hero, a fact Alaska's Tongass National Forest crews know intimately after one unit dragged 200 storm-felled Sitka spruces up 45-degree slopes during record rains. Love it or protest it, the 1706R redefines heavy forestry through Gallic engineering and brute force. Meet the Box Wedge Hickory Series, a 75,000-pound force titan armed with a 48-gallon-per-minute hydraulic system that slices through century-old oaks like butter, sparking heated debates about whether industrial firewood production is sustainable or ecological sabotage. This 9-foot-long behemoth packs a 42-ton splitting force, enough to crack Appalachian hickory knots that defy lesser machines. But critics blast its 13-liter-per-hour diesel appetite and Tier 4 engine emissions as carbon overkill for firewood. The 6-way wedge system churns out 2 cords hourly with surgical precision. Yet environmentalists argue its 92-decibel roar and hydraulic fluid leaks threaten both ecosystems and operator health. Here's the powder keg. While its auto-retract claw mechanism and 7-second cycle speed revolutionize productivity, opponents cite EPA data showing a single hour of operation emits 22 pounds of CO2, equivalent to a sedan's 50-mile joyride. Foresters praise its Duragrip tracks for traversing mudslides that stranded competitors, while OSHA reports detail fingers lost to its 400 psi pinch points. Urban firewood startups adore its quick-cycle valve, reducing seasonal labor costs, but biologists condemn habitat fragmentation from its 25-acre daily clear rate. Is this monster splitting wood or splitting environmental ethics? The Hickory series doesn't just process logs, it splits the YouTube comment section into warring factions. The Valtra N154E Active Harvester, a tech-loaded, tree-devouring trio that's flipping forestry into a sci-fi blockbuster. Teaming up with the Palfinger C60 F86 crane and the Nisula 325H harvester head, this mechanical Avenger squad is stirring up chaos in the woods. In the comment section, let's break it down. The Valtra's turbocharged 234 horsepower engine drives a 17-foot-tall, 10-ton beast armed with millimeter precision GPS auto steering, while the Palfinger's 60-foot hydraulic arm, dubbed the Godfather by loggers, swings a 4,000-pound grapple with terrifying grace. But the real star? The Nisula head's laser-guided sensors that calculate tree density in milliseconds, slicing through 8-inch pines like a lightsaber. Cue the controversy. Eco-warriors are screaming, "This tech accelerates deforestation," while operators counter, "We're cutting 60% faster with 30% less waste. Sustainability win." All right, you just got a peek at some of the most powerful machines on Earth. If you liked what you saw, definitely drop a comment below. Tell us what you think, and let's build an awesome community together for everyone who loves heavy-duty machinery.